this is Jamie Magridge. Welcome to Jamie's Craft Table. Tonight I'm going to show you how I made this card. It's a really simple one. It's just using the products how they were designed. So let's get started. Okay, I have a piece of vanilla that's 1.5 by 2 1/4. I have a piece of black, which is 3/4 inches by 2 1/2. That's for my label. I have a piece of shimmery cardstock. I don't know if you can see the shimmer in it. It's actually it's not the one from the catalog. It's the one I've had in my stash. I actually believe it's like a vellum, but it works really well. I have 2 pieces of 4 1/8 by 5 3/8 inch piece of vanilla. And I have a 5 1/2 by 8 1/2 piece of black that I folded at 4 1/4. Okay, so the first thing I'm going to do, and I'm using Seashells 3D embossing folder, and Friends are like seashells. I'm just using the stamp for the inside, and then I'm using Vine Design the Hello. You'll probably see me use that a lot. That's one of my favorite sentiments. So the first thing I'm going to do is take this piece of shimmery cardstock and run it through this embossing folder. Just going to place it in here. Try to get it centered as where I want it. I think like that. I'm going to close this up, and I'm going to run it through my die cut and emboss machine, and I will be right back. Okay, I've got that run through. Get this out of here. Comes out really cool. Isn't that cool? Okay. So now I'm going to adhere this to one of these 4 1/8 by 5 3/8 inch pieces. Let's move these. And I'm going to use the Stampin' Seal for this. It works really well. So get started here. Okay. And I just put it all along the edges. I didn't worry about the center. They're really sticky. Okay, come on. Getting down towards the end, and it's not wanting to roll. There we go. Okay. This is going to get centered on the front of one of these, and this is 1/8 of an inch smaller than this one, so it's just going to have that little 1/16 inch border. Okay, and you can tell, if you can't even see the adhesive, it's really cool. Okay, now this is going to get mounted to the front of our black card base. This one I don't need quite as much adhesive. Just a little bit in each corner. Mount that to the front of the card, and then again this layer is just 1/8 of an inch smaller. So it's just that tiniest little border. Scooch just a hair, there we go. Okay, now stamp this one. This is for the inside. I'm going to use the Memento black ink and the seashell. Ink that up. I'm going to stamp it right here. And while I've got the ink out, I'm going to bring in that 1/2-inch piece of vanilla. I'll get glue on my table. And I'm going to leave this attached to it because it's going to make it easier to run through my lovely labels Pick-a-Punch because it's kind of short. Stamp up and got my sentiment. Stamp that right in the center. Okay, and I'll set that aside for just a second. We're done with all the stamping. I told you it was an easy one. Okay, this is going to get mounted to the inside of the card. Okay. Again, that's just 1/8 of an inch smaller, so there we go. Now we're going to bring in our Pick-a-Punch. We're going to slide this right in there on this side. Line it up from the back, just because it's, then you can make sure it's where you want it. Come on. Punch. It's not cooperating. There we go. Okay, now we're going to turn this label around. We'll do the same thing on the other side. Slide it in that slot. Punch. Okay, there's that part. I'm going to put some dimensional on the back of this part. Set it aside. I'm going to bring in that 3/4 by 2.5 inch piece, and I'm going to do the same thing. I'm going to slide it in. I'm sorry about that. Get it centered. Punch. Flip this around. Slide it in. And punch. Okay. I'm going to put this one that we stamped, the vanilla one, right on top of this black one, and I'm going to bring in my tweezers because then I can see both sides of it. Make sure I'm straight where I want it to be before I set it down. Bring in some more dimensional, put that on the back of it. Bring in my card, and this is going to go right here on the front of my card. There we go. There's the card we just made together. Here's the one I did previously. It can't get any easier. It's such an easy, but it's so pretty. Well, thank you for joining me at Jamie's Craft Table today. I hope you have a great rest of your day, and I hope you can find a little bit of time to play with some stamps, ink, and paper.